Awesome. So thank you, Ross, for the introduction. Myself and Jordan are pretty excited to be speaking with you all tonight. We are born and raised Calgary ourselves, so nice to be speaking at Civic Tech Calgary. But yeah, before we get into what we're all about and what we're doing at Arbor, I personally think it's always nice to know a bit about the person that you'll actually be listening to for the next X amount of minutes, in this case, the people. So that being said, I want to start us off with some introductions. My name is Jessica, and I am the marketing lead here at Arbor. So anything you see on our social channels, from LinkedIn to Instagram, and any sort of external communications you see out there, that falls into my wheelhouse. How I ended up where I am with Arbor today is a lot less straightforward than that. So as you can see, I studied at the University of Calgary. I did a dual degree in international relations and English. Kind of an interesting combination. The end goal with that was I had the dream of going to law school, being a lawyer. I did an internship in the field and very, very quickly realized law was not for me. So then I shifted my focus into the world of marketing. I've always been a very creative person, so I thought, hey, I'm just going to go for it. I did a few marketing courses at SAIT, and after that, I was pretty fortunate to land a content marketing position at an online fashion search engine based in Prague in the Czech Republic. There, I was solely dedicated to working on the sustainable fashion market. That is where, in addition to many courses from Caring, is where I learned how important and all-encompassing sustainability really is. Before then, I'm sure many of you can relate, I tried to live as low waste of a life as possible. So I would bring my reusable shopping bag, my coffee cup anywhere I went, but I never really knew what sustainability meant or what it was. Feeling I'm sure some people here either have had or do have. Maybe we can answer some of those questions for you later on. But once I learned about everything that really goes into being a truly sustainable brand, from all the materials out there, like they're starting to make leather out of pineapple leaves, which is pretty cool. All the processes, the social ethical aspect that a lot of people don't really think of when they think of sustainability. It's not just environmental, and then all the certifications as well. I became hooked and now am the resident go-to sustainability guru in both my personal and professional life. Fast forward about a year and a half later, as we all know, COVID flipped the world upside down. So I decided to move back home here to Calgary, and probably the only thing I thank COVID for, because it led me to my current role here with Arbor. I consider myself pretty lucky now to have a role that aligns with both my personal values and professional goals, but I will gush more about Arbor here in a second. But for now, I will just pass it over to Jordan.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. So I'm Jordan, and I'm a software developer here at Arbor. And for me, I went into university with absolutely no idea what I wanted to do. So I started out in general studies, and my mom had been a software developer. So she told me to take a computer science class, which I didn't think would interest me, but I decided to give it a shot anyway. But I was very wrong. And that's where my love for coding started, when I did my first project. And I was fascinated by the fact that I could write code and create programs that could do whatever I wanted. And so from there, I got my Bachelor of Computer Information Systems from Mount Royal. And I was one of the first employees at Arbor, actually. I started interning here while I was still in school. And then I was offered a full-time position once I graduated. And I'm super passionate about Arbor because it's an amazing company doing very cool things. And I love finding innovative ways to combine technology and sustainability. So that's a little about me, and I'll pass it back to Jess.
Cool. So yeah, let's get into what Arbor is and what we're doing. So to put it simply, Arbor is a data platform. We utilize proprietary and environmental data sets to empower companies with the ability to measure, improve, and showcase the sustainability of their products through custom tools and visualizations. And now to actually put that simply, what we essentially do is we use data to show companies how sustainable their products are, and also help them increase their sustainability metrics if they're not. And we then help them market those efforts to their consumers. So currently, the sustainable market is growing at an annual rate of 24.3%, with approximately 3 out of 4 consumers now willing to pay up to 35% more for sustainable products. It's pretty evident that the sustainability movement isn't just coming, it's genuinely already here. With this in mind, we identified the common problem that businesses recognize this movement and the cost of delay in not shifting to more sustainable practices or product alternatives. But in all honesty, they just don't really know where to start when it comes down to it. And that's where we come in to help them solve that problem. So ultimately, an Arbor enables companies to both increase profits and save the planet, which is honestly a pretty incredible and increasingly rare combination these days. The two don't really go hand in hand. And I think I can speak for both myself and Jordan that that's one of the reasons we enjoy working here so much. So the solution our product offering presents breaks down into three main components. Those are measure, improve, and showcase pieces. And these solve the three main problems we identified that companies face when trying to change to more sustainable practices. So the first piece here is measure. This allows companies to measure the environmental impact of their products and their overall brand. Our improve piece empowers companies to then improve upon these impacts by suggesting more sustainable alternatives based on their needs. So this can include anything from more sustainable alternative materials to products they're already offering or certified manufacturers, for example. Our final piece here is the showcase piece. So this then helps companies showcase their green initiatives to consumers in real world equivalents. I stress real world equivalents here because if I'm being honest, no average consumer really understands what saving 9 kilograms of carbon is, for example. But when you equate saving 9 kilograms of carbon in you're saving a 3-hour car ride, or this is equivalent to 80 balloons full of carbon, it's a lot easier for an average consumer to visualize. We then allow the company to showcase these initiatives at various ways. So they can either feature it directly on their product tile or at their checkout cart. And this then allows the company to reap the benefits such as increased conversion rates, higher average order value, higher basket size, and even a decreased time to purchase. To better visualize this, I know there's probably like some visual learners out there. Jordan is actually going to lead us through a tech demo.
Awesome. So here is the Arbor dashboard. And so the way it works is once a company logs in, we automatically pull in their products and information. And so we estimate missing information on a product like their weight and country, but we always use worst case values when estimating a product's impact to prevent any greenwashing. And then this also incentivizes companies to make any changes to make it more accurate. And so companies can edit their products right through the dashboard. As you can see here, we gather information like the category, material composition, and weight of each product. And then once we have this information, companies can display it to their consumers. And so here we have the environmental savings on the product description. And we get the environmental impact of a product and compare it to the CO2 average for this category of clothing. And then from there, we can get the savings for that product if it's better than the category average. And so you can see here by purchasing this jersey, a consumer would be saving 875 balloons of CO2, which is equivalent to approximately 1.5 kilograms of CO2. And like Jess mentioned, we chose to show the savings in balloons because we were doing research and found that a lot of consumers didn't know what 1.5 kilograms of CO2 meant. And so we wanted to show it in a way that was easy for them to understand.
Thank you, Jordan, for the tech demo. Visual learners, you're still in luck. Here is a visual flywheel kind of showcasing our measure, improve, and showcase pieces in action. So ultimately, with evolving market demand, which we've kind of already covered, paired with new and incoming government regulations, the UK actually recently passed the Green Code law, which inhibits any company that sells in the US from greenwashing claims on their products. So H&M and Zara are quaking in their boots, you could say. So new market demand paired with incoming government regulations surrounding the practices of green initiatives. This cycle of measure, improving, and showcasing a company's sustainability initiatives is going to remain continuous. So we've then broken our data and these three pieces into our two different product offerings. So our first product offering is our SMB offering, and this is for obviously our small to medium businesses. This one is an impact calculator that operates as a Shopify plugin. So the plugin uses Shopify's infrastructure to automatically pull in all of the store's products and estimate their environmental impact. So it calculates the environmental impact of that store's individual products, similar to what Jordan showed in the product demo. And it'll show the CO2 emissions. And soon we're also developing out waste production and water consumption as well. We then enable them to, again, showcase the best scoring products to their consumers. This is a fully automated solution that will allow literally any Shopify store to add in Arbor's sustainability data with the very simple click of a button. Our second offering is for our enterprise customers. So for them, we provide a custom software solution that, again, automatically measures the impact of their products and then also offers guidelines to improve their sustainability based on the sort of regions that they're in. So the UK, for example, that already has some government regulations versus somewhere like Poland that doesn't yet. And then showcase their good performing metrics to consumers and stakeholders alike. The custom enterprise offer is very scalable for growing businesses and is tailored to the specific needs of that business's consumer. So essentially, this one is a made-to-order custom solution. Our final piece here is where we get our data from. I'm sure everyone's been wondering. We are a data company after all. So our data is a mix of public data and private archives. Some of our sources include, deep breath for this one, there's a lot of them. Government reports on factories, customs data, company violations, UN SDG data, materials processing reports, and ESG. One cool thing that we have is a partnership with Harvard. So that gives us access to their research teams. One thing that we always make sure to do is to use the most trustworthy sources available. So we make sure that they're either very heavily peer reviewed and or launched by government research agencies to ensure its accuracy and reliability. And as Jordan mentioned, for product estimations, we're always aware to take the worst case data assumptions to avoid greenwashing and encourage brands to become more transparent. So here's one final look at our model overview from the problem, how Arbor's data API is the solution, how we break those down into our measure, improve, and showcase pieces, and how we provide that solution to small to medium businesses and enterprise consumers alike. Yeah, and that brings us to the end of our presentation on Arbor and how we're providing sustainability as a service. Before we head into questions, we just really quick wanted to thank Civic Tech Calgary again for having us, and to all of you that joined in to listen to us speak this evening. So we're good to open up the floor for any questions that you guys may have.